Hi there, everyone. Welcome back to 3 News Now. I'm Stephanie Haney, and today is Wednesday, March 16th. Thank you for being here for the top stories from WKYC.com and our WKYC app. Here on 3 News Now, we talk about the stories that matter most to you here in Northeast Ohio. We know that these stories matter most to you because these are the stories that you are clicking on, reading, and sharing from our website and our app. So let's start today with a top story from around the country today. President Joe Biden is making a commitment to send more aid to Ukraine. This is after the president of Ukraine, President Zelensky, talked to members of both the U.S. House and the U.S. Senate today in a video that was streamed that everyone can see. So today, President Biden is committing to sending more anti-aircraft, anti-armor weapons, and drones to Ukraine in order to assist in defending against Russia. He had formally announced today that the U.S. will be sending another $800 million in military assistance to Ukraine. So that's a total of $2 billion sent to Ukraine in military assistance since the president took office more than a year ago. And $1 billion of that has been sent just in the last week. Here's a quote from President Biden. "We're going to give Ukraine the arms to fight and defend themselves through all the difficult days ahead." This was a message delivered just hours after President Volodymyr Zelensky talked to the House. And what he did was he pleaded for help from the U.S. to save the young democracy in Ukraine, and that world leaders have pledged to provide that help so far. So he brought up the memory of Pearl Harbor, the September 11th terrorist attacks, and appealed to Congress to do more to help in the fight against Russia. He acknowledged that a no-fly zone to close the sky to Russia over the country might not happen, but did ask the U.S. for additional aid and to continue with those sanctions against Russia. Now today, a UK Browns fan, his name is Paul Brown. You may know him if you follow Brown's Twitter and other social media. He is taking donations that were put together largely by Browns fans. He's taken that money and he's taken donations to Poland, which is where NPR reports 100,000 Ukrainian refugees are arriving every single day. So there's a refugee hostel there that he has partnered with, and he has brought donations there. This is something that he's been fundraising in partnership with someone named Julian Klinger, and that GoFundMe page is linked on his social media platforms. And he arrived in Poland today. Now the plan is to deliver resources to those refugees today in Poland, and then tomorrow he'll be traveling to the Ukrainian border, hoping to get to the Ukrainian front lines in order to deliver medical supplies to frontline people who are at the front lines fighting the fight against Russia as it continues to invade in Ukraine. We have an update from him. He'll be sending me video, and you'll be able to see some of exactly what he's seeing in Poland today on our 5 o'clock show on What's New. Back here at home, here in Northeast Ohio, more than 6,000 people were without power today in Cuyahoga County. And if you're wondering why, First Energy said that there's been an issue with equipment that feeds power to all of their communities. So the people who were most impacted lived in Lakewood, Rocky River, and Westlake. First Energy had hoped to have everyone's power back on today by this afternoon, hoping those people are, in fact, with power now. But if you're wondering why that happened, there was an equipment malfunction, according to First Energy Stadium. Now, if you were in the Streetsboro area today, you might have been alarmed to see a semi-truck flip down an embankment off the Ohio Turnpike in the Streetsboro area. This was a tractor trailer, and it rolled off the Ohio Turnpike down the embankment. This is according to the Streetsboro Fire Department, is about the 188-mile marker on the Ohio Turnpike. So this tractor trailer rolled down the embankment. It was on the south side of the turnpike, and then it came to rest against some trees on the north end of someone's private property. Now the driver, he was freed from that wreckage, and he walked under his own power to a waiting ambulance for evaluation. Streetsboro fire officials said there was no immediate danger to residents living in the area. No word yet on exactly what caused this tractor trailer to flip down this embankment. This is an developing story, and we will continue to bring you updates as they become available. Now today, here's a story that all of you are clicking on. We are celebrating the first Black woman to own a restaurant at Rocket Mortgage FieldHouse. It's called Pearl's Kitchen, and this woman is just an incredible person that just never knew that she would be going this route. So Pearl's Kitchen is the restaurant in Rocket Mortgage FieldHouse, and the actual company is called Pearl's Flower Catering and Kitchen. And the woman who started this was a registered nurse. You know, she said she was a registered nurse and also creative, Miss Scott Williams, and that she kind of knew how to cook and she knew how she wanted things to look, but she didn't know anything about a balance sheet. She didn't know anything about a profit and loss statement. She didn't know what an LLC was, which is a type of business organization, if you're not aware. And she said it just took some time. There was a lot of trial, a lot of failure, a lot of success, and now finally the first black woman to own a restaurant in Rocket Mortgage FieldHouse. So she's bringing that comfort food to fans that come through Rocket Mortgage FieldHouse. Her brand is Pearl's Flower Catering and Kitchen. It's a strong brand. It's named after her grandmother, Pearline, and her grandmother, Dolores Flower. She said that they were an inspiration to her, and their love for cooking drove her desire to dive into this entrepreneurial thing. So congratulations if you're in Rocket Mortgage FieldHouse. Make sure you check out Pearl's Kitchen. Speaking of another sporting arena, First Energy Stadium, there's a lot of uncertainty about what's going to happen in the quarterback room. And someone who is feeling that is current Cleveland Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield. He wrote a message last night on social media after the Browns had met with Houston Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson, and basically confirming that he is not sure of his future with the team. Now, he didn't mention Watson, he didn't mention the Browns front office, but he said, I have no clue what happens next. He said he loves Cleveland and that the community will always be a part of his and Emily Mayfield's story. Obviously, Emily Mayfield, very special to us here at 3 News, one of our special contributors, and she's contributed several incredible lifestyle pieces, letting people know what some of the hidden gems are here in the Northeast Ohio area as she explored the land, coming here and being here for the last 4 seasons with her husband, Baker Mayfield. Mayfield said that he has given the franchise everything he has. He says, whatever happens, I just want to say thank you to the fans who truly embraced who I am and the mentality that aligned so well with this city's hard-working people. Now, hard to say exactly what will happen for Baker Mayfield from here on out. The Browns being quiet about this, not making comments about the statements so far, but you know that we are on the case, and as soon as we have information, we will absolutely bring that to you. Now, let's move on to The Bachelor, and I truly think, honestly, if you've been following the Bachelor franchise, you know we've had several Ohio people featured on this season. Rachel Recchia, who just graduated from Ohio University Flight School. We had Shanae Ankney from Sycamore, Ohio, who was the, quote, villain of the season. And then early on, in the initial days, there was Samantha Jeffries. She was there on night 1. You might not remember her, but she was there on night 1. She showed up in that hot tub. She's actually from Cincinnati. Well, what could have been the most controversial, most dramatic season of The Bachelor ever ended last night. Here's what happened. Clayton Echard broke up with Rachel Recchia and fellow contestant Gabby Wendy. Then he proposed to Susie Evans, and Susie turned him down. But then, before the night was over, Susie walked out and said they had gotten back together, and now they are a couple. And there is a lot of conversation happening about that. But here's the punchline. Rachel Recchia, our Ohio University girl, she will be one of the next bachelorettes. And you know who else will be is Gabby Wendy, her fellow contestant. So down to the final 3, the 2 women that Clayton Echard chose to break up with, they will both be the Bachelorette. And this has never happened this way in the Bachelor franchise before, because if you remember in the past, in 2015, Caitlin Bristow and Britt Nilsson were told that they would both be the Bachelorette. But then on opening night, surprise, they actually competed against each other, and the men that showed up got to choose who they wanted to stay there, who they wanted to date. Well, Jesse Palmer clarified last night. He said, yes, these 2 women will both be the Bachelorette for the full season. Who knows how that's going to play out, but I will say this. I asked for it because I was tweeting last night during the show, and I said I wanted to see a reality TV show where Rachel and Gabby were roommates, and they got to thrive and live, and their friendship got to grow, and we got to see them support each other. And then the Bachelor franchise said, yes, we're going to do that. So I got what I asked for. So you're welcome. So obviously, since Rachel has that tie to Ohio, being an Ohio University graduate, OU, oh yeah, go Bobcats, one of my alma maters, we'll be following along with her journey. That will begin in July, and we cannot wait to see what happens there. Here's something you do not have to wait long for. Tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day, and it's a big celebration here in Cleveland. There was a press conference today with tips for people because it's going to be busy. It's going to be busy downtown. So Here are some things that you should know. Arriving early is best. Traffic will start growing around 10:30 a.m. The crowd is expected to be large. It's the first parade in 2 years, and it's going to be very nice outside. Yes, luck of the Irish with us for sure. There will be no parking zones around town, though, so make sure you pay attention to those. Cleveland does not mess around when it comes to those parking violations, people. They also say that St. Patrick's Day is the busy day for RTA, so they're going to do something to handle increased ridership. They'll operate 3-car trains on the red line and 2-car trains on the blue and green lines. $5 round-trip tickets are available, so if you want to avoid some traffic, you can always hop on one of those RTA lines. And people say keep your cell phones charged and stay hydrated. Definitely stay hydrated. That's a big one. So the St. Patrick's Day Parade will kick off at 1:04 p.m. on Superior Avenue at East 18th Street. It'll go southwest along Superior Avenue to West Roadway and then northwest for 1 block before ending at the intersection of Rockwell and Ontario downtown. And it's going to be a beautiful day. Our 3 News weather team has predicted for us, has forecasted for us that we're going to have highs well into the 60s. So your iris eyes should be smiling and your faces should be smiling. It's going to be a beautiful day, wonderful day for some St. Patrick's Day fun. I am Irish, in case you can't tell. All right, that's it for 3 News Now. Today for Wednesday, March 16th, I will be out tomorrow celebrating St. Patrick's Day, and I will also be off on Friday. I will see you back here Monday with more 3 News Now. In the meantime, everyone have a wonderful rest of your week. Have a great weekend. I'll see you back here on Monday.